Welcome, everybody. Okay, welcome to our webinar this evening. Rick Billings here, along with Nate Brooks. Say hi, Nate.
Hey, hello, everybody. Nate Brooks here.
Hey, great. When you come on, just go ahead and in the chat box, go ahead and let us know you're here and where you're logging in from or where you're watching from. And as we get going, this is I'm going to start using Google Hangouts to do our Hangouts here. So let's type in welcome, everyone. We're going to go over some great information this evening, share with you some ideas and about building your business.
Very good.
Getting all these messages and we're gonna wait till everybody gets a chance to log in and see us here.
When you come in, just make sure you just type in the chat, say hello, good evening, and welcome. Let's just do something here.
Okay. So as you come on here, just go ahead and on the chat. I don't know exactly where it's going to be on your screen because I haven't been a viewer on it recently, but just go ahead and type in the chat box somewhere on your screen your name or where you're watching from.
Out here in Austin, Texas, it's cold. Probably not compared to the rest of the country, but it is definitely cold here in Austin for
Yeah.
relatively speaking.
Yeah, it's getting chilly here in Orlando also. Tonight it is. I mean, usually it's pretty warm, but it's getting a little chilly here now. So, okay. Let's see. As you're coming on, just go ahead and type in the chat box there. We've enabled chat, so you can chat with us, I believe. And tell us... well, the chat box, let's see. Marianne put something in the chat. I think it's on the right-hand side. I guess the chat on the Google Hangout there, I guess you can see it right there.
It's the blue thing on the left-hand side, you know, that you click on when you look at your screen. So
yeah, that might be, and Nate, that might be different from them. I see them chatting online now. David from Alberta. Hi, David. Haven't talked to you for a while. Marianne's on.
Interesting, because I don't see them. Okay.
Yeah, it's in the it's on the Google Hangout. It's actually on the site. So.
Well, welcome to everyone.
We'll wait another minute or two. Let's wait a couple more minutes maybe, and then we will kind of dive in and get started. If you have questions as we go along this evening, feel free to ask your questions. Let me just type here. Okay, somebody just texted me and said, won't let you into the chat. I don't know. The chat is, let me just look here. The chat should be open. Group chat. Chat is available. Join the group chat. Well, we'll get this down. I'm not perfect at Google Hangouts yet, but we'll get there.
Well, we can let's just get started
Yep.
and
Okay. Okay, so we're going to get started here, and you can feel free to ask questions if you're online asking the questions, or if you can do it here in the chat, we'll answer those for you. Okay. But what we want to do this evening is kind of walk through the new marketing, the PDN, personal distribution network, we're calling it, marketing system that Nate and I built, and we've worked long and hard on this, and we want to just kind of give you a brief rundown of it. So I'm going to start off and just share my screen, and let's see. The screen I want is right here. Okay, and share, and it's this one right here. Okay, and you see that? Oops, you see that? Okay, there, Nate.
yeah, you have. There it is. Right, that's the one that you want. Right there. Okay, that sounds good.
Okay, you seeing this full screen here, or is it repeating?
It's showing me the other stuff too, and it just popped me in front. So
okay, let me make that adjustment here.
You need to share the screen and then click on you so that you're the only one, that I don't take over when I speak.
Okay. How's that?
There you go.
Okay. Okay, so this is the funnel. We're going to walk through this funnel here, and I'm going to briefly walk through it with you. And can't see it on mine yet either, but I'm here. Okay. Okay, you should be able to see my screen. Anyway, we're going to walk through this funnel, and for the personal distribution network. And obviously, in any kind of a funnel, you got to drive traffic, and we're going to talk about a couple ways to drive traffic this evening, and we'll get to that towards the end here, okay? But we want to talk you through the mechanics of it, okay? So we first decided that we would build one replicated website that we could replicate. Replicate means we can make it your own website. And what the most important fact of having that your own website, and as we look at it, this is what it looks like right here, okay? It's a landing page that gives people enough information to go ahead and put their email in there, and opt in. Now we put just their email, and so we get a higher opt-in rate. Okay, and we'll come back to that in a minute, but this is a landing page, it's replicated, but what's key is this email is your own. It's tied to an Aweber account, which is, so it enables you to build a list, so you're able to communicate with these people, okay, as they come back automatically. So the email's coming from you. So somebody opts in. I'm getting these texts, I'm getting distracted, okay, but somebody opts in, and they're going to get this series of 12 emails. Okay, that's going to invite them to look at information and entice them to contact you after they go through the system. And the only way you can make that happen is replicating a site and putting your own Aweber account in there. So you're building your own list, okay? Once that happens, they opt into the first part right here, as you just seen the landing page. They opt in, and they go to the second page right here. Once they put their email and they hit submit, they go to this page right here, and we keep it very simple for them to just watch the movie. Okay, and Nate did a great job at this, and when they hit the play button right here, it goes in here, and Nate's narrating it. Okay, and they'll go through this whole process of learning, this powerful income strategy, and which is a very educational presentation. And then down here it says to discover how they can set up their own personal roadmap, because it addresses towards the end them developing their own roadmap to personal success. Okay, doesn't say anything about our network marketing business at all right now. It's really about them creating success and what the things they need to do in life, and to able to get ahead and create success. So when they click on that button here, it goes to a thank you message, and it reiterates some of the things that was in the presentation. It's personalized to yourself. So in this case, it has my name because I'm on my replicated site, Rick Billings, my phone number. Now, if they're really interested, they're going to pick up the phone and call you, or they're going to email you. But if they're not, quite that interested, maybe they'll just fill out a form. So when they fill this form out right here, it then goes directly into your email box. It doesn't go in Aweber. You already have them on your list, and they'll get the other series of emails. This right here says, hey, I'm interested. When you get this particular form, you should fill it out yourself to see, so you see what it looks like. When you get this, they're interested. They're really interested. Nate, don't you think at this point that they're a hot prospect, right?
Well, absolutely, because what I've experienced is that the people who fill this out, what they've experienced is wow, this is clear. For the first time, somebody's explained this in a way that makes sense. And so they fill this out, and then you get to see what's motivating them. And so it's a great start to the conversation to take them to the next thing.
Absolutely, absolutely. So this process is really simple. They have, again, there's a landing page. They opt in. Okay, I'll hit my back button here. They watch a video. We keep it simple. They click this button right here, which takes them to this personal message from you. They have your contact information, and they can fill the form out and say, give me a call, I want to talk. Okay? And so as we go back here, this is the replicated part right here. Okay? Now they're going to start getting this email. Immediately they get an email titled Powerful 35-Minute Video Explains, meaning say somebody opted in at work, okay? Or they looked over somebody's shoulder and they seen this card that you handed out and they seen an address, okay? And so I gotta put my phone away, it's too distracting. Okay, so they seen your site, rick.yourincomestrategies.com, okay, and they opted in. They would get this email that would send them a link. If they didn't have a chance to watch the video, it sends them a link to watch it again, okay, or finish it if they didn't finish it, which is really important.
Rick, let me make sure I make this clear. So what happens is that when they get to this first part, the Your Income Strategies movie, what happens simply is that they're going to have 3 steps. One step to get the email in. The second step, they're able to watch the video. Okay, so that's right. Boom, boom. They're now watching the video. The next thing that happens is that we're now having these 12 emails, and all of those emails are written as if you wrote them. They're not written as if we wrote them, so that it looks like it's coming from you. I just want to make sure that part is clear.
Yeah, absolutely. That's very important. That's a good point, Nate.
It looks like, and it's not these emails are not the typical, hey, you're going to get rich, oh my goodness, you're going to get rich, blah, blah, blah. It's none of that. This is like, hey, did you get a chance to watch this? I want to make sure you understand. Did you understand the wealth creation formula? And so it explains it so that the person says, wow, I don't know what the wealth creation formula is. So it creates curiosity, because part of building a relationship, see, because what the idea is that people are going to want to join you after they know you, they trust you, and they know that you care. How they know that you care online? The only way for them to know is for you to have different kinds of communication, emails, or things that you're doing so that they say, oh, this person is different than the other 45 people who are hyping me to death. Do you see? So that's the key. The key is that you want to make sure that mindset-wise you're explaining things in a way that the person doesn't feel, they feel, oh, I feel connected to this person as time goes on. That's the secret to achieving success online in today's economy.
Okay, great. And so, as they go along, they're going to get 6 emails from you, okay, that talk through a lot of these things Nate was talking about. And on the 7th email, which is about a week out, they get invited to a webinar, Roadmap to Personal Success, okay? So they're getting invited to this webinar here. And let me see if I can click on my link here and open it up. There it is right there, okay? And it's a automated webinar, and they can actually watch it immediately, or they can actually watch it days out, and then they can pick a time. Or watch it at 4 o'clock. They put their name and email, watch the presentation, okay? And they're going to go through, and it's going to, talk to them, about, their roadmap to personal success. There's a guide they get to download, and they're going to learn how to become a lifetime influencer, and you know, the roadblocks to personal success that we've identified in today's economy. You know, building a solid retirement plan, and they, you know, that report that you wrote that they get, which is powerful, and we have it actually on our card, the free report, you know, that they get. That's also a kind of a worksheet that they can work through.
Exactly.
That allows them to take and write in this guide and actually create this roadmap to personal success. And so there's a lot of thought that's went into this to make it successful. And so, you know, I challenge everybody to watch these webinars themselves. Watch them a couple times. You know, really analyze what we're saying, and because it's, you know, it's so important. I watch things multiple times when I want to really learn about something. And you listen to different
Rick,
leaders.
I don't know if you have. Did you have a copy of the cover, or can you flip to me for a second?
It'll be on the next one here in a second. Oh,
okay. Can you flip to me for a second, or should I just click on my thing?
Let me see if I can flip to you here.
I wanted to show something.
Yep, go ahead.
Click on it?
Yep, no, you're there.
Okay. So the reason is that I sort of printed it out in, you know, Rick has a very nice fancy cover and it looks good, but I printed it out for myself, and the reason I wanted to just flip through it so that you could see, and not that you can read it or anything, but the most important thing is so that you understand they're getting a nice detailed information sheet. They're getting all this stuff, and it looks like it's coming from you. Okay, so you understand that this is congratulations on taking the next step. Where are you starting from right now? It's like a worksheet so that we're now helping somebody to say, wow, what do you like to do? Are you an open-minded person? So we've got a couple things in there so that you see the details of it. The idea is that once again, see, because nobody, see, the recruiting process, it's really like a courting process when you were dating. You don't go in and try to kiss somebody the first time you meet them. What you try to, you don't. What you try to do is you try to just say, hey, let me give you a little bit. Let me show you a little bit. I'm trying to help you succeed. And so if you can go through this kind of little quick guide, this is going to help you to get to where you want to get to. See, and so what happens is that the person starts to feel comfortable with you. And that's the secret, because as you go through, your warm market is going to, even your warm market is going to say, wow, I didn't realize that so-and-so was this, detailed. I didn't know that they cared this much, you see? And that's the concept. You're courting a person and taking them through a process so that when you finally get to say, on the next, to say, hey, would you like to become a part of our team? It's a natural progression for them to say yes. Okay? Now I'm going to switch back to you.
Yep. Okay. Great. So I don't know if I get this zoomed all the way in here. Let's see. There you go. Okay. So the roadmap to personal success they're going to get emailed this report that Nate was just talking about. Okay. And that they get to download it. And you should download it also. And you should read through it also. When you really want to build this, you've got to learn every aspect of this right here. And it's just going to help you as you go along to share it with other people, okay? And so from this point, as they go through it, then they're going to get invited to attend a webinar on RX. We call it your success vehicle. Okay, these are generic again. Okay, these are generic. There's nobody's names on this or nothing. Okay, me and Nate are doing them, but they're for you. So again, this is a 30-minute presentation on RX. It's totally different than I've ever done before. We created these from scratch. Okay, we created all these from scratch ourselves. Okay, every single bit of this me and Nate created. Okay, no outside sources. Okay, and so we went through this webinar on RX. We talked through it. We present it. And it automatically, once you get to this page right here, let me pull this up again real quick. I guess I'll get talking about it and then pull it up. Okay, so it's going to go through again what they're going to learn. Looks very similar to the other one. They're going to pick the date and time. They can watch it immediately, and it'll go on. At the very end of this webinar, it automatically redirects to /RX. Okay, which is at the very end of the webinar, redirects there. Congratulations on your decision to build a team. We're assuming they're going to join us. Building your personal distribution network with our team, okay? And we walk them through the process right here, okay, of joining with the best pack, the second choice or third choice. And obviously the best pack is the elite pack. Has all the information. There's a video from Deanna Latson that explains the entire pack content of the pack, okay? And then they can open this PDF up right here. They click on it. It opens up all the packs. We have 3 elite packs to pick from. They're right there, okay? I close that down. They go down here to the second choice is the business pack. So we're building them as a 4-line pack, a 3-line pack, and then a member is a 2-line pack. And they can download each pack underneath them, okay? And then here they can download the personal roadmap to success again. If they didn't have it downloaded or misplaced it or whatever, okay? We just placed it there again. So we're assuming, so this whole process is not saying, hey, they're going to sign up. We don't have any automated sign up, but at this point right here, when they're ready to join, you just go back to this page with them, or anybody that's ready to join. You go directly to this page, right? We're always going to have the current packs on here, and they go right to this page, and all the choices to get involved in RX is right here, okay?
The idea is trying to take as much of the process out so that there's a room for error, no room for error. And it's basically like, okay, so based on what you've seen, where do you see yourself? Do you want to build 3 lines, 4 lines, or whatever the case is, right? What is the question that you ask to get people started usually, Rick?
Well, a lot of times I'm sensing people all along the way to know if money's an object, and then it would be a different pack depending if they were on a budget. Okay, if money wasn't an object, then we're gonna go with the biggest pack. I'm gonna I'll say something like. It just depends on the relationship and a conversation to have with somebody. Obviously, that's so important because there's so many times to make a close and lead into it. Is which pack do you see yourself joining with, or when I build it, I'm very serious, so I went with the 4-line pack. So a lot of times people will do that relationship.
It's really a feel. By this time, see, selling is not about trying to convince anybody to do anything. See, people have got the wrong definition of selling. Selling is simply helping somebody make the best choice for themselves. That's what selling truly is. It's so when you're at this particular stage, you simply are just saying, okay, you want to be on the part of the team. Great, I want you as part of the team. If you can, which way do you see yourself? Do you see yourself building a business eventually with 4 lines? And if you do, let me tell you how I got started. I got started with this particular pack, and then you just go through, share that. The next thing is okay. Well, if they hesitate, it usually means that money's an issue. So if money's an issue, then you say, listen, well, you got a secondary choice, and the secondary choice is you can build with 3 lines or you can build with 2. Now watch this. The important thing is to get started. That's the important thing. So whether you choose one or the other 2 packs, it's important for you to get started. So which way is best for you to get started? The 2 or the 3? And then keep it simple. That's it. Yep. And that's the way I would share that with you.
Okay, so now what I'm going to do is we'll come back. Let me go ahead and close this right here, and we'll go over to Global Success Leaders here. Okay, when you're Global Success Leaders, if you log in, okay, and you click right here you'll go to the landing page, log in, you click on PDN System. Okay, you're going to see the everything, a lot of stuff we talked about here that explains the system and how you can get it if you don't have it. Okay, a lot of people on the Hangout probably have it. But one thing I want to tell you is this PDF right here, you can click on this right here, which is what I did earlier, and it'll open up a PDF. Print that out. Print that out. Use that as a marketing tool. You know, when you're talking to somebody and somebody's very excited, they've been through the process, they've been through this entire process, or they're an experienced network marketer, you could say you could have a system like this also. You could use this to build your business with like we're doing. Okay? And so we're going to just run down here, briefly talk about a few things here. You know, in it we explain this right here. The AWeber, you know, you have to have an AWeber account. If you don't, you can obviously click here and get a 30-day trial for $1. The mobile marketing is optional. Okay, now the mobile marketing here is something that is, you know, I developed it. It allows you to text a phrase to a number, okay, and people within minutes, most carriers within minutes, we've had a few that didn't work smoothly with, but most carriers within minutes will send pictures and a text message with a link to the website back. Now, the thing that you have to understand is that, let me go over to the site. The site has been optimized for smart devices. So watch when I take my right side of my browser and I shrink it down. Watch what happens to the graphics and the text. It shrinks down to mobile sizes. So now it can be viewed on a smart device, your phone. Okay? So it's all set up already to be viewed on smart devices. Okay? So that's very important. So it shows up nice when somebody looks at it on their smartphone. Okay? So we say text yes to this number. Within a few minutes or so, they get a text message, tells them what to do. She gives them a couple pictures on to watch the movie. Click, they opt in, they watch a movie. Now they're starting to get emails. They either get to check their email on their phone or they check their email on their desktop, you know, and it works pretty slick.
Okay, let me jump in right now, right at this point here.
Okay,
Rick.
sure.
Now, one of the things that I want to say is that, how do you use this? Okay, let's just talk about how you really, really use it. So, for example, you know, I ran into a guy that I had not seen in, let's say, about a year. But, you know, we had a good conversation. We knew each other for, you know, it's like, and so I said, hey, you know, how you doing? And his name was John, J-O-N, okay? So I said, hey, John, it's a pleasure to see me. He said, you know how you haven't seen somebody for a while? And they say, hey, so what are you doing? You know, so I said, listen, let me just get your number, and why don't I text you what I'm doing? And so what I did was I just simply got his phone number and said, hey, here it is. Hey, John, I just want you to know what I'm doing. You get a chance, text this number, and it was real easy, so that, you know, because I said, listen, why don't you give me your number and I'll text you what I'm doing. You see what I'm saying? So that way I've captured the phone number, so I'll text you, and then now they was able to, that's how you use that. And so it's so I've used that to tell people, hey, listen, there's ways to, because you know you're going to have probably a bunch of people you haven't talked to in a couple months, and you just want to say, listen, hey, I'm doing something pretty neat. You want to check it out? Here it is. And it's easy then to you to get on the phone and try to call them. Most people don't even answer their phones anymore. So it's a nice way to get people right in on text. And I want to let you know something. Very few people have this kind of setup. This is not something that's out there in the marketplace.
Yeah, that's exactly right. It's kind of high tech. It's one of those things that. It's one of those things that. I'd like to
share how that is used. By the way, now that why do you still have it? I just want you to know that what I did for myself here is I took that PDF that Rick told you to print out on the, and I simply put it in laminated form so that I have it if I'm talking to somebody. And that way, since I'm holding this way, I don't, start bending over the piece of paper and everything else. I just put it on a laminated form so that I have it, so that I can talk to somebody and say, listen, here's a system that we use to help you build, and it's all set up for you. You don't have to develop anything. Now you just have to point people to this system. You point, And that's your job, is to get them to just point to this system right here, the top of the funnel, to the traffic. That's your job. The rest of it's done for you.
Yep. And you know, the texting, get back to the texting, is so funny because my kids text more than they talk on the phone, and it's something that it's just the way life is right now, and young kids love it. The search is up to over 60%, 64% I think it is, people search on their smart device over the desktop computer. And so more and more things are going on the mobile device way, and so that's why, you know, I put some energy and stuff like that to develop the text platform and stuff like that. So, and as we go along, we'll keep improving it and making it better. But it's pretty slick now how it works. So, but
Right.
you know, and so then I thought, you know, the thing that has to happen is you have to get, you can have the best product in the world, but if people don't see it, you have nothing. You have nothing. So we have to drive traffic, and so, you know, you can drive traffic in many ways. As Nate says, you know, we can use the texting to tell people. We can tell people to go to the site. We can email the link to people. I have it on my email signature. I'm looking for 3 good people. Well, we developed these cards right here, okay? And I'm just going to hold one up right here, Nate. And so we have this card, and it says, and so we come up with a couple phrases that if it was just setting on the counter, what's that?
Make sure they see the other side too.
I will in a second. Okay. So if it was setting on the counter, it was just setting somewhere on a desk, on a counter, anywhere, people would pick it up. They would just pick it up and say and take it. Okay. It says, I'm looking for 3 good people. And then the bullets underneath that say, who want more quality time with their family and friends, who are looking for their Plan B financial strategy, who want to set their own work schedule, who would like to travel and vacation anytime, anywhere, who have the passion and desire to help others. And it's a thing we're trying to emotionally get to people, so they make a decision to take action, obviously. And then we thought of it, come up with a phrase that said, how do the rich people get rich? Okay, they know the secret, and we're going to share that, and we'll share those with you. They do not spend their life working for others. That's key. Rich people don't do that. Okay, their money works for them. Okay, they understand the power of leveraging other people's efforts to work for them. They all do that, okay? They know how to build a personal distribution network. We wanted to put something in there that had curiosity. What's this personal distribution network you're talking about? Well, the bottom line, it's network marketing, okay? They're building their distribution. Nate, talk about that a little bit, but the personal distribution network and the power of that going forward.
Okay. The reality of life, okay, if you really look at this, what you're building, I want to say it in a different way so you hear it differently. What you are building is your own personal distribution network. You're not building RX. You're building your personal distribution network, of which you're using the RX products to get paid from that personal distribution network. So you are building something, an asset that you want to have for your family and, you know, for yourself in the future. So that's the secret. The secret is you want to build this personal distribution network one time. That's why you want to treat people nicely. That's also why you don't want to hype people. And also, let's make sure we get this. As you build your personal distribution network, I want to make sure you understand this, that the government, it actually allows you certain home-based business deductions, and you're able to reduce the amount of taxes that you pay. So as a result, so you're not spending a lot of additional money. What's happening is that the government is going to give you financial tax relief in terms of the amount of taxes you pay. That money, instead of just giving you relief, it's actually going to, so that you can build your particular business. And that's the secret. So that what people don't realize is that, so if you spend $50 to $100 to $200 on marketing, let's say, the government, the tax relief is actually going to cover those kind of expenses. So you want to spend money building your business, because theoretically it's the government giving you the money to build your business, although they don't say that. So let's make sure that you understand you're on a 3 to 5 year mission, and the first 3 years the tax relief is going to provide you with a tremendous advantage. So this is in conjunction with building the personal distribution network, so that you feel good about how you're treating people, how you're building an asset, a long-term asset, so that you can eventually, and through the RX system, you can pass it on to your children. So you want to put this effort with a long-term focus in mind and a daily action plan. So, so you focus long-term, and then we have a daily action plan so that you can get the results that you want. That's what we're trying to create for you, so that you can just do as much as you can, point people, put them in the system, and start caring for them, educating them, and then that's how they start believing in you.
Yep, that's great. That's great. It's kind of funny you talk about the taxes a little bit, because every end of the year I always am looking to say, hey, what I got to spend my money on, because I have to spend so much money. When you're making money, you got to spend so much money, or you're going to give it to the government. So do we need to buy something for the business, like a new TV or something like that we're going to do our presentation on once or twice a year, so we can write it off. Anyway, the back side of the card.
It's your 179 expenses, by the way.
Yeah. The back side of the card right here, when they flip it over, it's going to say, it's going to have a picture of a lady texted on her and a guy that's exciting, and it says, there are some changes that are happening in today's new economy, and they are important enough that you should know about them. Text yes to this number for mobile access, or visit http://rick.yourincomestrategies.com, and then it says, you're going to get a free report here, and then in lighter gray, which a type, it says expanding in key cities in Florida and around the world. We wanted to add a little bit of localization to that, okay? And then at the bottom, the guy's got his hands up and he's excited. It says you might be emotional too once you see this movie, okay? So this is a card that you can literally distribute everywhere. Okay, they're pennies. You want to get them in people's hands at the grocery store. You might walk. You look like a sharp person. I'm looking for three good people, and hand them a card. Nate, there's many ways to get these cards out to people.
Let me share some people what I'm doing. Okay, what I do here is, okay, just so that you know. For example, I went to watch the movie the other day. I went to the movie theater. So what I did is that right there where you wash your hands, that kind of thing, I simply put a couple, 3 cards right there. Just put them right there, so that I was at the movie. Now, same thing, in my favorite restaurant, I do the same thing. They have some cards and that kind of thing. Just put a couple cards down, 2 or 3 cards. I don't put 4 or 5 or 100. I just put a couple because I want people to see, and then when I go back, I'll replace it. Do you see what I'm saying? I don't want people to say, oh, there's 5,000 of these things over there. So I just put a couple as I'm going. For example, even at the supermarket, where I go is in Texas on HEB, and then right there where they have the garbage cans in the sitting area, on the top, where people put their newspapers and things like that they've read and they just left there, I simply put some cards right on the top there. So basically, as I'm traveling, I was at my chiropractor's office in Liberty Hill, and there was a board, so I just put a couple on a board right outside the grocery store there. So I simply put these cards everywhere. There, back in the day, the laundromats used to be the place for people to do this, and so I remember, and so that's how I just do it. Everywhere I'm going, if I'm someplace, I have something that's in my pocket, and I'll be talking to somebody and say, you know something? I said, it sounds like you are pretty sharp. I want to let you know what I'm doing. Hey, let me give you this card here, and so that you can take a look at what I'm doing. Bam. You see, so it's not about a big discussion or anything. Here. So my goal is to get 10 of these out per day. That's my goal. I say if I can get 10 of these out per day, I'm good. So that's just one form of my little marketing strategy, my daily method of operation. So, you know, so I have a daily method of operation where I reach out, try to call a handful of people. So let's say 10 people. Anybody can make 10 phone calls. Okay? Takes you 20 minutes if you're doing it. Most of the people here in this business are doing it part-time. So you've just got to put a daily method of operation that you can get accomplished in 30 minutes, 35 minutes a day. Okay? And that gives you a way to get yourself and build momentum and get that momentum going for yourself, because it's important to build long-term, and let's get excited by focusing daily on a daily plan of action.
That's great, Nate. You know, you talk about the grocery store. We have a really nice grocery store here in town, and you walk right in, and they have a big bulletin board right there, and everybody pins their business cards on the bulletin board for the community, and it's really kind of nice. And every time I go in there, I pin 2 or 3 cards on there. Okay, and every time I fill up with gas. Right. Every time I fill up with gas, I leave a card up on the thing where people are looking directly at it while they're waiting to fill their car up with gas.
Exactly.
And so it might seem that
creative. And now just make sure you know this is just a passive way.
Yes.
This is not an active. I don't call it active prospecting. This is a passive way so that you can catch those people that you just don't know.
Yeah.
So you got to also actively, hey, here, take a look at what I'm doing. Here, take a look. Kind of a concept.
The biggest thing is getting into habit of doing something. I mean, I'm going to an event this weekend, and I intend to give out 100 cards at this event, okay, because there's going to be 2,000 people there. And I should give out more. But the point is if you get in the habit of having a handful of these cards in your pocket every single day. Now, they're jumbo cards. They're bigger than a business card because they're 4x3. Okay, but when you have these in your pocket, just like Nate says, you have them with you all the time, and you get in that habit. And if you're a lady and you got them in your purse, and you just know that you put 10 cards in your pocket. Here's what you do: put 10 cards in your pocket, and you know at the end of the day you shouldn't have those in your pocket. If you have to get in your car and drive somewhere and give them out, you should go do that. Okay, and that will get you in the habit.
Let me make sure that people get this concept. It's not about. It's not about this. Hey, this is what I'm doing. Hey. It's not about that. What it's about is if you can establish a conversation. For example, I have an opening line that I use for almost anybody that I talk to that I meet. And so I meet somebody, I said, listen, hey, I haven't met you before, but hey, what's the best thing that happened to you today? Now, most people don't ever get that kind of question. What do you mean, what's the best? So they say, oh, well, I woke up, they laugh. And I say, no, seriously. I say, seriously, I'm just curious. I'm interested in what you have to say. And then, that's when they say, oh, well, here's what happened to me today. And then I say, wow, that's pretty neat. And so I start talking. See, it's about how you communicate, engage people. So I try to get them talking, and then at the right moment I say, I'd like to stay in touch with you. Let me give you a card so that you know what I'm doing, and maybe you can touch base with me when you're ready. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's about getting that initial conversation that has nothing to do with this to start with. It has to do with, I care about you as a person. What's the best thing that happened to you? Tell me something good. What do you, have you made a decision about what you're going to do for next year? For example, people ask me that question. I said, you know what? What I'm doing for the next year, I don't look at it just as the next year. I'm looking at it as that I'm starting a new phase in life. And people say, wow, I haven't heard anybody say that. So I tell people I'm starting a new phase in life. and I'm excited about doing the things that I'm doing. See, they're not used to anybody being that excited about what they're doing. See, they're going to want to be around you because of that excitement. So understand that you can't just be, oh, hello, how are you today? I'm fine. You fine too? I'm fine. Everybody's fine. Okay. See, that doesn't inspire anybody. You want to inspire somebody so that people want to follow people who are going someplace. Got a friend of mine says, hey, in New York City, everything happens downtown. He says, hey, there's an A train going downtown. The question is are you getting on that train? Are you going to be on the platform while the train takes off? See, you want to be on that train. You want to be on that train, getting excited about, hey, I'm going downtown to where things are happening. And people want to be with those kind of people. They want to follow people doing that.
So that's some good points there, Nate. The other thing is I talk to people from time to time, and they say, I don't know that many people or whatever like that. Well, I tell you what, you can go to meetup.com, and they have hundreds of thousands of meetups that happen all around the world every single day, and their interest from everything you think of: gardening, photography, WordPress, marketing. Every aspect of business that people gather, just individuals put them together. So I attend several different meetups. I'll do a luncheon every once in a while. There's breakfast meetups, okay? There's meetups in the evening. Some people do presentations. The luncheon allows us to stand up and give a 30-second elevator pitch or a 1-minute elevator pitch. So you get your little 30-second elevator pitch down, create some curiosity, and hand everybody in the group a card, okay? And it's a good way to expose your business to people. It may or may not be for them, but again, you have to get out there and talk to people because you never know when somebody's fed up with corporate America, they're fed up with their work, they're not making enough money, they're afraid they're going to get cut. They haven't saved anything, and if they go through this system, they're going to understand that if they don't do something, they're in trouble. They're in trouble if they don't do something. We're both of us have read, Tony Robbins' book, Money, Master the Game, and that's a great book. We recommend it to anybody. And there's some great things in there that Tony's sharing with people about money and there's a lot of sad statistics in there of 70% of college kids are moving back in with their parents because the fact is they can't get a job, they can't live on their own, they can't afford it. There's even a higher percentage, 80-some%, do not finish college in 4 years. It takes them 5 years, 5.5 years to actually graduate from college because they either couldn't take enough credits or whatnot.
Right.
Go ahead, Nate.
No, I said, or they either graduate in that time frame or they quit.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
So the part that'll take you 5.5, 6 years, they either get out with a degree or without a degree.
Yeah.
So, but they're done. They're history by that time. They're history.
Yeah.
The one of the things that I started talking, and I want to make sure you understand young people for a second. See, because a lot of people don't understand young people. They say, they got no money, da-da-da-da-da. But you know what young people have? Parents. Okay? Yeah. They have parents. And then here's what's happening here with the young people. That boomerang generation, because they know, I'm telling you, they either are back home by themselves with their parents again, or they know a lot of their friends that went, woom, they boomerang right back to their, to their homes and with their parents. So if you present something to a young person, guess who's going to help them get started in their business? Their parents, because they have now come back home. They now see their child depressed of being back home. Who wants to be known as part of the boomerang generation? They used to be called millennials. Now they're calling boomerang. That's a negative term, to be put on your psyche and going out in the world. So as I talk to some young people, what I'm finding is that young people want to succeed. They really do. They just, they don't understand about getting a job, but they understand about personal distribution networks. You know why they understand? Because they're the ones that have developed the Facebooks, the Twitters, and developed those social media groups on Instagram and Pinterest and all the rest of that stuff. See, they know the importance of how to build the social network. And so what we're talking about is taking the concept of building a social network and turn it into a solution network. So where somebody can then build their personal distribution network, starting it for a lifetime. And that's what we're doing here. That's what you're doing. You're helping people to build a lifetime asset that will be a valuable cash flow asset to themselves, and they can keep it for the rest of their lives. That's what we're doing.
Yeah, that's a great point, Nate. There's a lot of kids that, it just takes a couple leaders, a couple young kids that are leaders that raise up and start to create a movement. And I've seen a few groups, that are creating movements and building this personal distribution network. They're not calling it that, but that's what it is. Right. And so, you get a few of those, and it can take on a life of its own. And they can take this system, run with it, and they don't have to, reinvent the wheel. They just go with it, and just like Nate said, it's very exciting. So, we're coming to the conclusion of our Google Hangout right now. Okay, we've been on for about 50 minutes or so. I want to tell everybody these are recorded. This is recorded. It will show up on the Global Success Leaders YouTube channel, which is actually youtube.com/Global Success Leaders. Okay, it'll also play on the Google Plus area. So if you join the circle, which there's a circle there within Google Plus, join that. And this is how we'll notify people going forward and stuff like that. It'll replay there. It'll be stored there. Okay. And we are committed to every Thursday at 9 o'clock in the beginning here, and the frequency 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Yep, and it usually tells you in your own time zone, like Nate's in Central Time Zone in Austin, Texas, and so it told him his was at 8 o'clock, obviously, and so but Thursday evenings. We'll send out notifications, but you can come on. We're going to talk about marketing ideas. We're going to talk about personal development ideas. We're going to talk about a lot of things to help everybody move their business forward. We're going to figure out this question and answer chat area so we can, enable people to chat. I think there was maybe a little, setting I didn't turn on there. But any closing comments there, Nate?
What I'd like to say to people is that I've been in this business, in this industry here since 1981. I was in one of those very first meeting with Mark Hughes and back in the old days in 256 South Robinson Boulevard in Beverly Hills. It sounds great, but it was the poor part of town of Beverly Hills. But
what company?
That was Herbalife.
Yeah, there you go. Okay.
Yeah, back in the day. That was way back in the day, but that was 1981. That's where I got started in this industry. And there's nothing greater than this industry long term. So here you got 81 is now 2015 and still excited about the industry. I'm telling you, there's nothing like this industry. It is so good. It's so important. It allows you to have time freedom to do things with your children. You have what I'm trying to say is that the vision is there. But I wanted to say one thing that we're one of my mentors here, Larry Thompson, back in the day. Larry Thompson said something that I want to leave you with here today in terms of my final comment. He said that if you filter life and life's activities from this perspective of what if it will work, you will take different action. See, not figuring out, I got a plan B and this and that. No, if you filter from what if I can make this work, I promise you the actions you take will be bold, courageous, and that's what people are looking for. They're looking for someone who is filtering life from what if I can make this work. So that's the leader that I want to follow. And so if you can start doing that, you will start getting people to be attracted to you, because you are now becoming attractive just by simply filtering with one change. What if it will work? And that's what I want to leave you with tonight.
Okay, great. Thank you, Nate. Okay, well, thanks everyone for attending, and spread the word with others that are on the team that maybe haven't been here. I don't know if you can tell who's been here, but share with others, and we will see you next Thursday evening. In the meantime, I'm sure we'll talk to several of you during the week as we continue to build the business here. Okay. Good night, everyone.
Good night.